In February 2014, something special happened in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. On a hot morning, hundreds of Vietnamese people stood in very long lines. They waited for many hours outside a shining new restaurant on Dien Bien Phu Street. Their excitement was very clear in the warm air. Security guards helped to manage the big crowds. Excited customers took many pictures with a happy statue of Ronald McDonald. Local television channels filmed this important moment. It was the day McDonald's opened its very first restaurant in Vietnam. This was almost 2 decades after the United States and Vietnam started to have normal diplomatic relations again. In the first few weeks, more than 20,000 customers went through the doors of that first McDonald's store. Many people paid about 1 full day's salary for a Big Mac meal. They simply wanted to taste this famous American food. The restaurant stayed open for 24 hours every single day. This helped to serve all the people who were curious. Food bloggers and young Vietnamese people were eager to experience something they had often seen in Hollywood movies. It truly seemed like the start of a new time for the country. Now, 10 years later, the great excitement has disappeared. It is like morning mist over the Mekong Delta. Today, those same McDonald's restaurants in Ho Chi Minh City operate with the quietness of a library reading room. The long lines are completely gone. The social media buzz has stopped. The famous Golden Arches, which once showed Vietnam was embracing global business, now cast shadows. They fall over dining rooms that are mostly empty. Inside, only a handful of foreign people eat lukewarm fries. Outside, street food sellers continue to serve steaming bowls of pho to long lines of hungry local people. This dramatic change makes us ask a very interesting question. How did global giants like McDonald's, which have successfully conquered markets from Beijing to Buenos Aires and from Mumbai to Moscow, fail so completely in Vietnam? These companies have more than 52,000 stores around the world. Their brand names are almost the same as globalization itself. So, why did they struggle in a country that seems to welcome many Western things, from K-pop music to new ways of doing business? The answer is not that Vietnam did not understand McDonald's. It is that McDonald's did not truly understand Vietnam. This is a story of a very big American fast food company meeting the very strong cooking culture of Vietnam. It is a tale that shows the limits of globalization and the lasting power of local food traditions in a connected world. 2. A big company. McDonald's is a very big company around the world. It has more than 36,000 restaurants in over 100 countries. Every day, about 70 million people eat at McDonald's, and the company makes over $20 billion each year. Its Golden Arches are famous, making it one of the most successful restaurant brands in history. Burger King is also a large fast food company. It has over 16,000 restaurants in more than 100 countries, making about $1.8 billion every year. These American companies often share a dining idea. speed, easy service, and eating alone. They have been very successful in other parts of Asia. In China, McDonald's has over 4,500 restaurants. Burger King opened more than 1,400 restaurants there since 2005. Japan has nearly 3,000 McDonald's and 98 Burger King locations. Even in India, with its different food culture, McDonald's has over 450 places, and Burger King has more than 300. Sales have grown a lot in China, showing that local people truly enjoyed these American fast food places. When McDonald's and Burger King planned to open in Vietnam, many people had high hopes. Vietnam's economy was growing quickly, and it had a young population. McDonald's leaders thought they would open 100 stores in Vietnam within 10 years of starting in 2014. Burger King planned to spend $40 million to open 60 places by 2017. Initially, things looked promising. McDonald's chose a top location in Ho Chi Minh City, a busy part of Vietnam's main economic area. The restaurant featured modern designs, a macafe for coffee lovers, and Vietnam's first drive-thru. Burger King also opened a large new restaurant. Everyone expected these big companies to succeed greatly in Vietnam. 3. The big problem. In the beginning, many people in Ho Chi Minh City were excited about McDonald's. But today, the story is very different. The restaurants are often quiet and mostly empty. They do not have many customers like before. The long lines from the first opening day are gone now. The happy feeling about McDonald's has disappeared. McDonald's had very big plans for Vietnam. They hoped to open 100 stores across the country within 10 years. But this goal was not reached. Today, McDonald's has only 23 stores in all of Vietnam. This is much less than their first plans. To understand this, Vietnam has about 97 million people. Yet, McDonald's has fewer stores there than in New Zealand, a country with only 5 million people. Another American fast food company, Burger King, also faced big problems. They also had plans for many stores. They hoped to open 60 stores by 2017. But now, Burger King has only 13 stores left in Vietnam. Many of their restaurants had to close because they did not have enough customers buying their food. These low numbers show a very big problem for these global brands. McDonald's and Burger King together hold only a very small part of the fast food market in Vietnam. Their combined market share was just 2.8% in 2018. This is a very low number for two of the biggest food companies in the world. At the same time, other international food chains have done much better. For example, KFC, which sells fried chicken, opened in Vietnam in 1997. Today, KFC has more than 200 locations across the country. They have a market share of 11.4%, which is quite successful. Pizza Hut, which sells pizza, has also found great success. They hold an impressive 21.3% of the market. Another popular chain is Lotteria, a burger company from Japan. Lotteria came to Vietnam in 2004. They have nearly 250 stores now, serving many customers daily. These numbers clearly show that it is possible for international food companies to succeed in Vietnam. But for McDonald's and Burger King, the reality is far from their first high hopes. Their small number of stores and very low market share reveal a big challenge they are facing in the country. 4. Food is too slow. One major reason McDonald's did not succeed in Vietnam was its speed. In many countries, American fast food is known for being quick. You can get your meal very fast. However, in Vietnam, McDonald's found itself to be surprisingly slow compared to local food options. This was a big problem for a company that promised fast food. Think about the daily life in Vietnamese cities. People often eat from street vendors. These vendors are everywhere, offering many delicious meals. For example, a banh mi sandwich vendor is incredibly fast. The bread is already baked and cut. The fresh ingredients, like pâté, pickled vegetables, and grilled meats, are all ready. A skilled vendor can put together a fresh, warm banh mi in about 90 seconds. You pay a small amount of money, take your sandwich, and can start eating it immediately while walking or riding your motorbike. This level of speed is hard to beat. Another example is pho, Vietnam's famous noodle soup. At a local pho stand, you can walk up and order. The cook quickly puts hot broth, noodles, and meat into a bowl. Fresh herbs are added on top. In about 5 to 7 minutes, you have a steaming, delicious bowl of pho. You can enjoy your meal and leave quickly, ready for your day. These street food sellers have perfected their speed over many years, serving hundreds of customers every day with great efficiency. Now, let's look at the McDonald's experience in Vietnam. To get your food there, you first need to find parking. This is a big challenge in Vietnamese cities because very few people drive cars. Most people use motorbikes. After parking, you walk into the restaurant, which is often air-conditioned. You then look at the menu on a large board. You stand in line to place your order with a cashier. After ordering, you usually get a number and wait for it to be called. Only then do you pick up your tray, find an empty table, and sit down to eat. This whole process, from arriving to starting your meal, can take 10 to 15 minutes, especially during busy times. This means McDonald's, the company known for its speedy service system in other countries, was actually slower than the local Vietnamese options. This difference in speed was a major issue. Vietnamese people were used to instant convenience. They did not need to wait long for their food. McDonald's tried to bring its idea of fast food, but it was not as fast as what people already had. Furthermore, McDonald's often relies on drive-through windows for quick service. This works well in countries where many people drive cars. However, in Vietnam, motorbikes are the main way people travel. There are millions of motorbikes, but very few cars. So, a drive-through window for cars was not very useful for most Vietnamese customers. Street food vendors had already found a better way. People on motorbikes could easily pull up to a street cart, order their food, pay, and receive it without even getting off their motorbikes. This was the true meaning of convenience for Vietnam's mobile population. In short, McDonald's offered a solution for speed and convenience that Vietnamese people did not need. Their local food culture already had faster, more convenient, and better suited options for their daily lives and transportation habits. 5. It costs too much. The second big reason McDonald's did not do well in Vietnam was the price. For many Vietnamese people, a meal at McDonald's was simply too expensive. It was like buying a luxury item that most could not afford often. Let's look closely at the cost. A Big Mac meal, which includes French fries and a soft drink, cost about 120,000 Vietnamese dong. This is around $5. A Burger King Whopper meal was even more, costing about 140,000 dong. While these prices might seem reasonable for visitors from Western countries, for local people in Vietnam, these amounts were very high. Consider how much money people earn in Vietnam. An average person working in a city might make around 6.8 million dong in 1 month. That is about $295. This means that a single McDonald's meal cost almost 2% of their entire monthly income. To compare, it would be similar to a person in the United States paying $18 or $20 for just one fast food meal. Most people would not spend that much money on lunch or dinner often. Now, compare this to the many local food options available. In Vietnam, you can buy a delicious, hot, and very filling meal for much less money. For example, a big bowl of pho, Vietnam's famous noodle soup, costs only about 35,000 to 50,000 dong, which is less than $2. Or a fresh banh mi sandwich made with crispy bread, flavorful meats, and pickled vegetables costs just 15,000 to 25,000 dong, less than $1. A plate of com tom, broken rice with grilled pork and an egg, costs about 40,000 to 60,000 dong. All these are complete, healthy, and satisfying meals that can be bought quickly. So, for the price of just one McDonald's meal, a Vietnamese person could easily buy 2 or even 3 full, delicious local meals. These local meals also offer great freshness. Customers often see the food prepared right in front of them. The bread for banh mi is usually baked that morning, and the ingredients are typically fresh and flavorful. This gives consumers a strong sense of quality and value. Vietnamese consumers are very careful about price and value. They want to get the most for their money. When they looked at a McDonald's burger, they saw a thin, pre-formed piece of beef, some lettuce, and a bun. They felt it did not offer good value for its high price. They believed their local food gave them more protein, more fresh vegetables, and much more overall satisfaction and flavor for significantly less money. Reports show that Vietnamese families spend most of their food budget, about 78%, on local vendors and traditional markets. Only about 1% goes to foreign fast food chains like McDonald's. This shows where people prefer to spend their money. Another problem was McDonald's had only a few stores in Vietnam, just 23 locations. With so few stores, they could not buy ingredients in very large quantities like they do in other countries with many more restaurants. This meant their costs to make the food were higher. Higher costs led to higher prices for customers, and higher prices meant fewer customers. This was a difficult cycle McDonald's could not break. Because of this, McDonald's did not become an everyday quick food option for most people in Vietnam. Instead, it became a place for special visits, mostly for foreign people, wealthy local residents, or those who were simply curious. For the average Vietnamese worker, it simply cost too much to eat there regularly. 6. People eat together. The third reason why McDonald's did not do well in Vietnam is about culture. In many places, people eat alone. They buy a meal for themselves and eat it quickly. But in Vietnam, eating is usually a social event. It is a time for families and friends to be together. When Vietnamese people eat, they like to share food. A typical meal has many different dishes. These dishes are placed in the middle of the table. Everyone at the table takes food from these shared plates. Each person might have their own bowl of rice. But the main dishes, like soup, meat, and vegetables, are for everyone to share. This way, everyone can try a little bit of everything. Eating together helps families connect. It is a time for talking, sharing stories, and spending time with loved ones. The question, "Have you eaten rice yet?" is a common way to say hello in Vietnam. This shows how important food and eating together are in their daily lives. Vietnamese restaurants are made for this kind of eating. They often have round tables. These tables let everyone see and talk to each other easily. There are also small, low stools. People can sit for a long time and talk. The seating can often be changed to fit big groups like a large family. McDonald's and Burger King have a different way of eating. Their food is made for one person. A hamburger is for one person to eat. You cannot easily share it. The same is true for fries and drinks. Everyone gets their own meal. This is not how Vietnamese families usually eat. When a Vietnamese family goes to McDonald's, each person orders their own meal. This can feel strange. Parents might eat their own burger and children eat theirs. This is different from sharing all the food. It does not feel like a family meal. Also, the menus at McDonald's are fixed. It is hard to change things to fit what different family members want. For example, some might want more rice or more vegetables. The way McDonald's restaurants are built also creates problems. They have small, fixed tables. These tables are for only 2 or 4 people. Large Vietnamese families often find it hard to sit together. They might need to use many tables or sit very close together. Also, American fast food is about eating fast and leaving. But in Vietnam, people like to take their time when they eat. They enjoy talking and staying at the table for a while. The idea of eating quickly and leaving feels impolite in Vietnam. Even the food itself is different. American fast food is often eaten with one hand. It is easy to eat while you are busy.
But Vietnamese food often needs two hands, like when you use chopsticks. It means you sit down and focus on the meal with others. So, McDonald's did not just offer food that was too slow or too expensive. It also offered a way of eating that did not fit Vietnamese culture. It was too focused on the individual in a society that loves to share and eat together. This was a big reason why the Golden Arches did not become very popular in Vietnam. 7. A different story. The success of KFC in Vietnam tells a different story. While some big American food companies found it hard to win over people, KFC showed that it is possible to do well. KFC started its first restaurant in Ho Chi Minh City in 1997. At first, progress was very slow. For 7 years, KFC did not grow much. By 2004, KFC had managed to open only 10 restaurants in all of Vietnam. People wondered if American fast food could really work there at all. But KFC did not give up. Instead, they decided to completely change their strategy. KFC learned a very important thing. Vietnamese people eat meals with rice. For them, fried chicken was not a full meal by itself. It was more like a tasty protein to eat alongside rice. So, McDonald's did not just offer food that was too slow or too expensive. It also offered a way of eating that did not fit Vietnamese culture. It was too focused on the individual in a society that loves to share and eat together. This was a big reason why the Golden Arches did not become very popular in Vietnam.
This idea was a huge turning point for KFC's business in Vietnam. So, KFC changed its menu a lot to fit this idea. They added chicken rice bowls. These popular meals had their famous fried chicken served with hot, steamed jasmine rice. They also made coleslaw in a Vietnamese style, using local vegetables and special dressings that people liked. Most importantly, they created the KFC chicken rice combo. This meal, with fried chicken over rice and Vietnamese sides, was priced at just 35,000 Vietnamese dong, which is about $2. This made it very affordable and able to compete directly with local street food. KFC also changed how their restaurants looked and felt. They put in larger tables that could fit whole families. They made seating flexible, so groups of different sizes could easily sit together. The restaurants were designed to encourage people to stay longer and talk, not just eat quickly and leave. This made the places feel more like casual family restaurants than typical American fast food spots. Their marketing also changed to fit Vietnamese needs. KFC did not talk much about speed because local street food was often faster. Instead, they focused on food safety, consistent good quality, and the comfort of air-conditioned dining rooms. They showed their restaurants as clean, reliable places where families could gather without worrying about hygiene issues that sometimes came with street vendors. These wide-ranging changes helped KFC a lot. From 2005 to 2015, KFC grew very fast. It opened more than 150 new restaurants. By 2018, KFC had a big part of the fast food market in Vietnam. It had more than 11% of the market. This was much more than McDonald's and Burger King combined. Today, KFC has over 200 restaurants across Vietnam and is one of the most recognized and trusted food brands in the country. KFC's success shows that an American food brand can succeed in Vietnam. But it needs to truly understand the local culture and adapt its products, prices, and restaurants very well. KFC learned how to do this, and its story is a good example for other companies. It proves that with the right and deep changes, a foreign company can find success in the Vietnamese market. The end of the story. McDonald's came to Vietnam with big hopes in 2014. They wanted to sell many hamburgers and open many restaurants. But today, 10 years later, McDonald's restaurants are often quiet. This story explains why this big company did not succeed here. McDonald's offered quick service, but in Vietnam, street food is faster. Banh mi or pho are quick. Local foods are ready before a McDonald's burger. So McDonald's did not bring new speed or convenience that Vietnamese people needed. McDonald's also offers cheap food in many countries. But in Vietnam, a Big Mac meal is expensive for most local people. It costs more than a full, tasty local meal. Vietnamese people look for good value. A burger offered less than local dishes. Most importantly, McDonald's did not understand how Vietnamese people eat. Eating in Vietnam is a social event. Families and friends share many dishes together, sitting and talking. McDonald's sells single meals, one burger for one person. This does not fit the communal style. Their small, fixed tables are not for large families, felt strange. McDonald's offered solutions to problems Vietnamese people did not have. They came with ideas for speed, price, and eating style that did not match what Vietnam offered or preferred. Vietnamese food culture was strong and met needs. This story clearly shows that local culture is very powerful. It can resist even big companies. McDonald's is known everywhere, but it could not change how Vietnamese people like to eat. This shows a big brand is not enough. The main lesson for businesses is clear. They must truly understand a country before succeeding. They need to learn about daily lives, customs, values. They cannot use the same plan everywhere. They must change products to fit local culture. KFC learned this lesson in Vietnam. They changed their food and restaurants. They added rice dishes and made their places suitable for families. KFC became more successful. McDonald's still has restaurants, but they are not popular. They serve few local people. The Golden Arches did not shine as brightly in Vietnam. Vietnam's strong food traditions won. What do you think is the most important lesson for global companies from McDonald's story in Vietnam?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.